Fellow Malaysian citizens, fellow Goodyear drivers in this year's Formula Drift ProAm Series. Is that all to Ariff Johannes and Jean Chia? Well, in fact, they are a racing couple and they even have a 14-month-old baby girl. Not content just watching her husband bask in the limelight, Jane will be the only female participant in this year's competition. What got you started into this sport?
Well, basically I used to sit next to my husband when he was learning how to drift. I pretty much pick it up from there, as in like the technical part of it. And when he got his second car, and I take over his first car and started drifting from there, yeah.
But what is the one thing about drifting that really got you hooked onto it?
Well, I guess it's able to control your car in that extreme situations. It's an amazing feeling. I mean, it's like you never knew you could do that actually. I mean, normal driving, you think, oh, when you lose control, that's it, you're going to crash your car. But pretty much when you're in drifting, you're actually controlling while you're losing control. So it's like, it's just an amazing way of handling your car, yeah.
In a sport of drifting, there's not many women as compared to men, right?
Well, of course, yeah, because the sport itself is actually fairly new in Asia. I mean, in Southeast Asia region. So, well, I guess it takes a bit of time for the female counterpart to actually get involved. But I would say, being the only female for this weekend, we'll be able to, hopefully, I will encourage more women to get involved as well. Yeah.
But do you think there are any specific reasons that are hindering women from coming into this sport?
Well, the thing it's all about passions and what you like to do and all that. I mean, it's like certain sports as well. Some girls like this sports and some girls don't. So, well, I guess it's an individual, passions and all that. Yes.
Being the only female contestant this week, do you feel the pressure of having to live up to your standard?
Yeah, in a way, I do feel, a lot of people will be looking to see how I perform this weekend. So, well, we'll see from tomorrow practice onwards, and we'll see how I fare.
So, what's your target for this week's competition?
Well, based on my experience, because in competitions I didn't have much experience in that, and this is actually in the international level. It's a totally different ball game than the national levels that I've faced. So, well, for me to be able to qualify even in the best 16 top drivers, I mean, going against a lot of top drivers, it will be actually one of my achievements. Yes.
So, do you have any words you want to say to women who would like to take up this sport? What should they do? How should they do it?
Well, for those who would like to pick up, do walk up to us, come to us. Ask us questions. Feel free when we are free, and we will willingly to answer whatever queries, and do pick it up because it actually teaches you a lot for your day-to-day driving as well. Yeah.
Behind every successful man, there is a woman. But in the case of our racing couple, Ariff plays a big part in Jane's success today. Are there any rivalry going on between you and your wife?
Oh no, not at all. No, not at all. I mean, in fact, I'm glad that she's getting the attention that she has now, because as you all know, drifting is not gender specific. So hopefully she will encourage other girls to women to get into the sport. I mean, because the thing is, it's kind of sad that, I mean, it's not sad. I mean, Jane is a good drifter as it is. So, I mean, the fact that she's a girl should not actually make much of a difference, because she does do well in competition where she goes against men, and So the fact that, but I guess it's good to get women into the sport, so that's why they want to highlight that she's a woman rather than she's a good drifter.
Drifting is not as popular as car racing, right? Like, Formula Drift is not quite the standard as Formula 1 yet, but do you think there's a reason for this?
Yeah, because the thing is, the sport is very new, in fact, actually. Drifting came about as not as a competition sport. Drifting came out as an underground thing, people fooling around on the streets and stuff like that, and only recently it has become a competitive event where there are criteria in judging and stuff like that. So hence being why it is not as popular as F1, but I think it will be as popular, in fact more popular, because as it is now, it's the rate that it's growing, the amount of countries of people getting good. I mean, if you talk about Formula 1, how many Southeast Asia drivers do you know that's doing well? I mean, in drifting, we've got a few Southeast Asia, excuse me, drivers who are doing very well. So I think the sport will grow even more bigger and faster.
What are your targets for this year's competition?
I guess, well, to advance, okay, last year I advanced, I got into the top 16, I qualified even with running on 3 cylinders. Okay, and when I went for Susho, even with a blown engine, I only lost out by 2 points with my competitor. So hopefully this year I'll fare even better. I'll advance further than top 16 because I got no more excuse last time because engine blown. So now I got no more excuse. So now hopefully I'll get into the top 4.
The way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised if their baby girl joins them and make them a racing family or trio in the future. But for now, they'll have to make do with me being part of that trio. Stay tuned as Ariff takes me for a once-in-a-lifetime drifting experience.